Hi everybody, Michael here. I am so upset with this business loan broker field and I want to get into why that is. I don't generally express my emotions this way. I'm very emotionally controlled, not a robot. But this has been on my mind for some time and perhaps you've seen this in some other content. I usually don't express myself this way and let alone put it on video for you, but I feel like this is of tremendous value. I'm upset with this space because, for one, with my background, I come from the digital marketing agency. I have affiliate marketing businesses. I did a hybrid with e-commerce and then went back and pivoted. And I have a few other ventures, but this is my primary focus. And just keep in mind that I don't say this to sound cocky. I'm not like that. I'm very confident. I grew up well, went to school academically and so forth, but it's such a huge night and day. So if you've never done a digital marketing agency, you've never done any affiliate marketing, perhaps network marketing, that's another breed that I don't want to get into on the whole recruiting and no. So what I see major differences in these businesses, and this will make sense in a second, is I can go with affiliate marketing. I have them in the health space as well as a few others. And I don't have to get on calls with people. I don't have to do Zoom calls. It depends at a level of what you are doing. Yeah, there might be some training, there might be a consultation that's even higher, or they have to pay for that, or they don't have to, but you show them the service on screen, and you could do all these little things. But you don't have to necessarily, depending on what you are servicing and who you are servicing, who you are helping, who the people are, etc. But with being a business loan broker, I've transmitted my systems, my processes, and I've iterated what works and doesn't work in the business loan broker space. And I'm very cerebral, meticulous, systematic, mathematical minded, process oriented, automated oriented as much as we can automate. And it's worked very well. But the thing is, you have to adopt a lot of change when you come to this industry. And here is why. Well, with affiliate marketing, digital marketing agency, or these things where I'm trying to get people health products or software or something, I can just do it over a Facebook Messenger or an Instagram DM or a different app. It doesn't necessarily have to evolve into a phone call. And I'm an introvert, so I don't want to get on phone calls. And I normally don't have to in those businesses, doing those for many years. Now, for a digital marketing agency, it could work a little bit different. You may want to do that proposal over a call. It could be set out via email in a different format. There may be needed a little bit of about a minute to just go over something, clarity purposes, but it isn't always necessary as well. You just have to find your ins and outs. And so I can do a lot of this, especially affiliate marketing with my passive income there. Not always 100%, but I go back and I iterate, and those have been working for me for some time now. But hey, I can go in there. Yes, I get to know the person, get to know what problems, pain points, questions, roadblocks, obstacles, what results they actually want and need. And so I'm in there chatting with them, not always. They see the value through my blogs, my YouTube content, social media posts, and elsewhere, and they can click through, learn more, go purchase a product, and they do that every single day continuously without me being on a call with them. Now, there are others who I have more of a intimate setting where we're on email, we're on a Facebook chat, and we're doing more of a discovery, and I'm helping them. I'm aiding them in the direction, just like a doctor would. I'm prescribing them their best outcome or outcomes. I understand previously the problems, and this is the same against anything, any kind of business. But from what I've seen in a business loan broker business, it can't always be reliant on that. And it is a bit frustrating, at least for me, because I'm not a salesperson. I don't even like to use the word sales. If it's used in the right context, that's a different thing, but I still don't like the word. There are a lot of sleazy people in this industry that you can't trust. People on the front end that present themselves to be, but are they an expert? Are they not? Is their information right or not? It can be, but is it best? The people on the front end, the people on the internal team, more so you can't trust because they're working with an organization. Certain lenders you have to be careful about, certain people on the internal team as well. On the front end, though, business loan brokers slash agents, are they just not that good, or are they honing in on their skills? Are they doing things ethically? Are they just glorified referral partners without having direct lender partnerships? And you don't always have to have all the direct lender partnerships. You can have an indirect. I still do that as well. But it just can't be done. And I have systems where I don't want to get on calls with people unless necessary. I told a person the other day on a call, and he took this very well. We were emailing back and forth. I'm helping them get an SBA loan. I'm not going to get into the specifics, but an SBA 7A loan of over $1 million. And so with this specific scenario, we were going back and forth via email. I answered his questions. I even put it in detail what that service we're going to look at, the best SBA preferred lender, and I have multiple. And I put it in details, and I'm very systematic about that. I showed him the option, the details to everything, documents needed, how do we submit the documents, when will I need them, the application, review video, review content, blog posts around it. So there is no question at the end when he looks at that. But there might be something he needs for clarity purposes. So by the time he's done seeing that, he may want to call, or she may. Well, I go, in my brain, is it really necessary to? Can I just email them this? And then they still might want to. Or it's not necessary. So by that time I get on a call with them, and it's not always that I need to be getting on a call with somebody to get someone funded, just in case you didn't know that. Depends on the situation, of course. But again, you have to be very punctual and disciplined, protective of your energy and time. Because a lot of these people, tire kickers, pretenders, then there's action takers, pretenders, then transferring over to action takers, information seekers. At a point, you shouldn't just expect an outcome. Do things without expecting that result. But at the same time, you can't just be always the information person. So in this circumstance, yeah, they just needed clarity. They just had a few questions. It didn't take any longer than 2 minutes, that call. Literally, I can do it less than a minute, 30 seconds I prefer. Build a little bit more rapport. We've already built the rapport. He's seen my content. We went back and forth email and in other ways. Great. Moving forward to the next step. So all that being said and done is you don't have to be on phone calls to do this. And I'm an introvert. I've proven this works, but I do things differently than every other broker agent. And if you don't want to take the time to do it the way that I do it, then it necessarily won't work. Not the words, but it'll be harder unless you hire a staff of people that can do telemarketing, or you're doing it yourself and others, or you do also a lot of cold emailing, a lot of cold calling, telemarketing. Maybe you have an addition with digital marketing, internet marketing, you're on foot, but that's the exception. And I'm not doing that, or at least now, but I'm not going to depend on that. And I want to work with people who actually know their stuff. I don't want to know the front person who really doesn't know how to do things in the field or has been away for some time. And I get it. It happens. You're away for some time. You don't really know the ins and outs. But why am I learning from someone who doesn't know their stuff to begin with or hasn't done enough? Why should I hear that person? If they're good at something else, speak about that, but hire somebody else to do the part that you don't know how to do. Or at least get better at that. If that makes sense. So I'm not one who falls for trickery, or if it's not trickery, I can see through things. I'm a very observant person, or observant, excuse me. But all said and done, I want to wrap up by saying you don't have to necessarily be on calls, but you can do things on Messenger still. Yes, you can evolve that into an app, send somebody through. You don't have to get on a call with them. There are times when it makes sense to get on a call with someone, but you have to be very systematic in the way that I do things. I'm going to try to leave information down below so you can learn more. But I get people to fill out my questionnaire. I don't get on calls initially. I don't always have to be on foot. I have bank managers. I have the accountants, bookkeepers, real estate investors, other business owners who refer people to me, and I can get them compensated if they'd like to or not. I'm very transparent, and many more people, and many different channels, all social media. I have YouTube, blogs. I have all types of places, and I built that over time, my personal and business brand. But what you have to understand is the nature of how people think. I'll get to that in a second. I wanted to close, but give me a quick minute or two here. On that part in the beginning, you have to be aware of how you transmit information to people. So if I collect a questionnaire from people, I'm not giving them a call. If I have somebody else, yeah, I'll have them do it or I can do it myself if it really makes sense. But I'm not spending those 20, 30 minutes, even that, because you never know with these people. It's very volatile. It's very sporadic. It's very uncontrolling. Unpredictable is the word. And I've made a post on this before where the reason why I would leave this industry is because of people. It isn't necessarily because of the money. It isn't because I don't care about them or I don't show value, because I show tremendous value, excuse me, in education and what I do. But at the end of the day, you can only do so much. If you've done your point to take the person to the water, will they swim? Will they just put their feet in, one foot in, one toe in? What will they do? Sit by the sand and never do anything and just sit there, look pretty, and just continue to look around? See, in a millisecond, loyalty can be broken in this space depending on the service, on the product that you're promoting to somebody, that you are sharing with someone. It can be a medium to high interest rate, factor rate product. Not everybody is unloyal, but there are those who don't get it, even after you've built that personal business relationship. So at that point, it's not me who's the problem. And I could be the best at doing this, but at the same time, those are the people that are uncommitted. They put only one foot in. They say something, they do another. They can't be trusted. I can be. I'm very loyal, but I'm asking if I can trust them. So I get the questionnaire, I analyze, evaluate, I know how to look at documentation, I know how to respond to that, get them with the best lender, get them with the best organization and underwriters, and then we'll review, do more extensive stuff there, and then go to the next step to get them their offer, etc. But I do it in a different way where I can do it via email. I don't have to get on a call with them all the time, at least initially, until they see that questionnaire response where I show them a very highly personalized and customized email and their best funding option and options. And I've iterated this over years. It's not like I set it up one day and I got all these options that I put in an email, which is in length, but I show them that at the top it's their best. But I've iterated. As things change, I iterate that and they get to see it. And if they have any questions, they can reply back to that email, send me a DM, a quick text message if they have my mobile number, business number, etc. They can give me a quick call if it makes sense. If they would like that, it doesn't necessarily need to be. But if it makes absolute sense, but I'm going to get out of that call sooner rather than later. And so this is kind of why I'm upset with this industry too, is because there's people that mislead you. I know I'm going on now, but let me close up. And I'm not a speaker, just so you know this, but I want you to get the different angles of this. And so let's go in for a little bit more and we'll close up. But so many people are just a talking head, or they're just very like, do this, do that, or they just speak about the products and services, but they don't really show you the strategies and tactics or what is in best interest for you and how you are likely to do things. Yeah, just choose the best product and service and whatever you feel is best for you. Yeah, there's different levels in just picking the best product that fits for you and your personality and whatnot. You have to look at the actual market. So yeah, everybody's promoting those cash advances to get a higher payout, and that's not what I'm in it for. I have all services. So if I have to find somebody that is more FDIC bank related of a client, online, offline, an SBA 7A loan, an equipment client, then so be it. But I'm not going to spend my time on a product and service where it is just so unpredictable with someone that it is chaotic and they're causing energy and time inefficiency, friction and resistance. So everybody telling you about being a business loan broker, those are probably the people, and I tell you guys about this, but I actually do it and I actually get the results. And there are times where it's like this, depending on the product and service, but I have personal loans, I have the SBA loans, I have the cash advances, the hybrids of that, the term loans, the lines of credit, the real estate investing, the financing on that, equipment, everything else you can think about. There's a lot of products. But I'm not just sitting on one and hoping that that one person gets through, because those people are the same that are unpredictable. Others are very predictable, and you have that loyalty and you know they're going to submit an application. You don't even have to ask them when do you think they'll submit the application. You may have to come back to them and you're like, why did I have to do that again? Or I should have said it in the beginning. Don't always have to say that. But yeah, there's others that can't be trusted. They lead in with their own ego, ignorance, stubbornness. Oh man, this industry, it will churn you if you let it. It will completely break you down. But I believe in being able to make those mistakes if you can learn from somebody and not make them, or make very minimal of them, okay? But at the same time, don't let something that brought you down keep you there. Keep going, come back up. And having this mindset, personal development helps, and making it sure that you can move forward. So as an entrepreneur myself and business owner, self-development is huge. I'm not a guru, but I'm in it every single day and learning, reading, doing everything. And so it's a habit, it's a routine every single day. And something small doesn't break me down, but when you keep doing it over and over, you'll realize that you're gonna continue to fish in these ponds where you're doing it right, you're getting quality, quantity, you're doing it right, but these people don't want to move forward. So if you've done everything you needed to up until that point, you really always you can't really do more than that. And I know how it sounds. You're like, I wish I can, and I'm not deserving of that response that business owner gave me. Why did they act like that? And I know you have to think, I have to move on. I get that. But at a point, you're going to realize like you have too many ups and downs, and you're going to ask yourself, and do this for like 6 months to a year and really have an answer then. Don't just do it, lessen it. And do the things right, by the way. Don't just do it and half ASS it or think you're doing it correctly and you're not using the right strategy and tactics. That's another thing. But you'll realize that if you're like, yeah, it's not me at that point, it's actually the business owners, and that's where I'm at. And I get people funded a lot, but I still have those wavelengths, and I have to judge it by quarter. You can't always look at it by monthly depending on those products and services. So whatever everybody else out there is telling you, be very careful of the information you get. I don't trust literally anybody in the space. Very few people that are in my circle. And if I get your trust, it's one thing. If you get my trust, it's a huge thing. So that's all I want to leave you with. There's not necessarily a lot of hatred. It can be in some ways, but it's just a big problem, especially who you're getting your information from. It's like the blind leading the blind. And I'm in these meetings and I go, certain ones, I'm not going to say which ones, but out there I go, why didn't we talk about that? Do they even know how to talk about that? Or why didn't they, or what? And there needs to be a better voice for that. And I can help you with that. Of course, I have all the marketing material, the guides, but it doesn't matter how much I put in front of you. It doesn't matter how much I tell you about a product, how to reverse engineer that and look at the niche, look at the specific psychographics instead of just demographics. That's a whole another topic for another time. The character in a person. And that's another thing with the character in business owners, it fluctuates. So if you don't find somebody who has the right attitude and effort and all these characteristics, values, and not saying you can't get them funded, but it may be causing you a lot of friction and resistance, and you got to look back and ask yourself if that really was worth it, not just for a payout. And there are a lot of people in this industry who, I don't want to use this word, but scum. And I'm not saying there's one person's name or nothing or more of them. I'm just saying there are a lot of people out there who are unethical, and even if they're ethical, they don't maybe do it in a way that is in the best interest for the client. I can go on and on about the subject. Just know that you need to be efficient. You need to have the right processes, systems, and automation in place. And I've built that over a long time. So if you want to follow what I do, you may be more extroverted and go on foot and do all that. Go ahead and do that. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, but in a field like this, if you're underestimating it and thinking you're just going to get 2 to 3, I got a response from these 2 to 3 out of 100, and now you're exhausted. You're cold calling people yourself. I would never want to do that. And there's people who don't do it, but they hire a staff of people. And you actually question the person who hires those people if they actually know the stuff. Like the people who hires others to do it, but the person who is supposed to be the one helping them doesn't do it, or he does it to a little bit, depending on the system. But those are also people that I question. And so that's where I want to leave it at. I appreciate your energy and time. Thank you. Look down below in the description for all information, and I will leave it there. Thank you. Bye.